Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. Time is 2:35 p.m. Yes, a kind of cold, 40s, breezy, but warmer than the last few days. The snow is all melting around out here. Kind of day, Jersey time that is. All right, this is one of these badge bunny stories. You know, these badge bunnies, they just never seem to learn. And the mind virus that is implanted in people in the Lily White's mind, I'm going to point it out when we get to this part in the story. This has to do with an officer out in Cleveland who was arrested for rape and some other gross sexual activity that he was doing. But the story is not so much about them because we know that many of them are creepy and predatorial. So this is reported on kyc.com. I'll put the link in the description for you. And this came out on February 7th, so that's yesterday. It says, suspended Cleveland police officer convicted of gross sexual imposition found not guilty of rape. And there's the story right there. All right, let me read this for you. It's out in Cleveland. Suspended Cleveland police officer Matthew Piter, P-I-T-E-R, has been found not guilty of rape in a case involving two women in separate accusations from 2017 and 2019. The judge, Howard, declared that Pecker was guilty of the lesser charge of gross sexual imposition when announcing his verdict Monday in the bench trial. Sentencing in the case has been set for February 28th at 9:30 a.m. The Cleveland Division of Police released the following statement after the Monday verdict. Cleveland police officer Matthew Piter was found guilty of two fourth-degree felony counts of gross sexual imposition by Cuyahoga Shaka County Common Pleas Court. Matthew Piter was suspended without pay pending the outcome of the judicial proceedings and will remain suspended without pay pending administrative disciplinary process. He should be fired, okay? But the good thing is he's not being paid. See, once we get out of like New Jersey, New York, these bigger places, the police unions are not as strong, and it's a lot easier to get rid of these bad cops. Piter was hired in 2016. He was most recently assigned to the 2nd District. Piter was arrested on Halloween 2019, was later indicted in early January 2020. Back in late June, one of the women in the case talked with 3 News. There's a huge stigma behind sexual assault and rape, Lauren Little said when she asked why she decided to make her identity public. I want other women to know they're not alone. You mean other badge bunnies to know they're not alone. Now, they don't say how old this cop, but I'm looking at it. It looks like he might be in his early 30s. This is him right here. Take a good look, people. Little said the situation started. All right, this is for all you women out there and men with daughters. Little said the situation started when she met a man on the dating app Bumble in 2017. I don't know what it is. Have no clue what it is. I don't know. What you push on the app and put your picture out there? I mean, I've been on Plenty of Fish, and the only thing I found on there were... I don't waste my time with it. If you can't meet somebody in person, I find the best way to meet somebody is just through the course of your day. Before the two went out for pizza. Okay, so she meets a guy on Bumble, invites her out for pizza. Now, this is the statement that's really revealing about this mind virus that I'm talking about that's embedded in Lily White's mind. It makes you feel safe that you're meeting someone who's a police officer, she told 3 News. How many people out there think for 1 second meeting an officer makes you feel safe? How many stories have I done out there about police raping women, pulling women over and raping them? I've had women post comments on my video saying this is one of my worst nightmares, being stopped on a dark road by a cop. Piter's other accuser, Ashley Spencer, also spoke with 3 News last June. The evening began like a normal day would begin. Spencer said, recounting the alleged incident from October 29th, she said, the unexplainable happened that no girl wants to go through. When I would say no, he just repeatedly still did what he wanted to do. This is what police, I mean, how many videos have we seen where the cop wants your ID? And the auditor says, no, what crime have I committed? And the cop just keeps going on and on and on, you know, trying to change up the question, doing that circular cop logic of theirs. What the cop really, when the cops do that kind of crap with the ID stuff, what they're really trying to say is that if I ask you enough times, enough different ways, can I have what I want? This really, you can apply this to any aspect of life when you're dealing with another human being and they keep asking you the same question, or with your own kids. If your kid says, Mom, can I go out, or Dad, can I go out, and you say no, and then the kid says why, and then you start getting into this conversation. And I would get this with my daughter once in a while when she's younger, and I would just say her name. I'd say, little girl, I would just say, Daddy, if I ask you enough times, can I have my way? So this really is what this cop is doing, where she's saying no, and he's just saying, well, if I do this enough times, can I have my way? She said with the unexplainable, when I would say no, he just repeatedly still did what he wanted to do. Piter maintained his innocence, and his attorney previously released a statement saying his client's reputation has been severely damaged, and that's it on the story. But we all know one of the reoccurring themes with these predatory cops is sexual predation, whether it's going to be on children, whether it's going to be on women. That is, to me, that is probably one of the worst, the top of the list of problems with police officers, is that there's a high portion of sexual predators within the police culture. And right here in Monmouth County, how many stories have I done over the past 5 years about cops preying on women? We just had the one over in Kingsburg that got caught on camera raping a woman, or allegedly raping her. It didn't catch him in the act. It caught him coming out with his pants off, and she woke up with her underwear on the floor, and no doubtly had some DNA inside her. I also heard inside information, which I won't discuss, as to how it all went down. We had a cop over here in Shrewsbury who was upset a woman didn't want to see him anymore, and he went over to the house and created a scene, and now he's not a cop anymore. We have Richard Conte, the sergeant who wanted to have sex with a 15-year-old. Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. What other stories out there? There's so many of them, I just can't even begin. I mean, across America, this is a big problem with them. And don't expect law enforcement community to change anything anytime soon, because they're too busy trying to change us, people. Remember that when you go to their Facebook pages and you see the rhetoric going on there, it's all about changing your perception of them. They are not interested in fixing anything, and all this sexual dysfunction that they have within their community is not being fixed. I don't see anything on the PPA. I don't see anything on the state police. I don't see anything out there where they're telling their officers to, behave yourselves, keep your private parts in your pants, don't be hurting women, don't be beating up your wives, don't be raping children, don't be downloading porn. There's nothing absolutely nothing out there, because it's quite apparent to my eyes they're not interested in fixing anything about themselves. I'm John Van Dyke, New Jersey Exposed. I'll put the link in the description. You can go read the story yourself. Let me know what you think about that story in the comment section. Till next time, people.
It sounds right, boy.